Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here with none other than Tucker Nance.
Hi.
So this is my first male tutorial. I'm actually really excited because I've always wanted to do male skin and now I get to on this bitch. So today the first thing I'm going to use is Beauty Blender's foundation. Trying this out on him. And this is in the color Blend 3.55. So this is the foundation we're going to use today. And obviously he just washed his face, so his skin is all clean and ready to go. So we're going to do that first. So he was explaining to me before, kind of like dry skin on his outside area, and then his nose can get a little oily, which is normal from hormones and just having pores. What we're going to do today to moisturize his face is we're going to use none other than the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. I got this from my masterclass as well, and so that's what we're going to use. And we're going to take that little cute spatula on the top of it, and I'm going to just scoop a little bit and prep his face. So you really don't need much from this because it is so thick. We're only going to take that much, and I'm going to use it all over his face with my hands. So look up for me a little bit. I'm just going to go in.
It smells good.
It has like a lavender scent to it, which is what I love. And we're just going to kind of go all the way through everything. Don't be afraid. I'm just getting into your skin. This is actually really good because it's like softens the muscle too when I'm like massaging your face.
Feels good.
Because that's why I love those new rollers. I forget what they're called. Alexi has one upstairs.
I saw it.
When you roll in your face,
Yeah.
it like circulates the blood or something like that, and like it helps with discoloration, and I love that. And then the next thing we're going to do is, after that kind of sets in for 5 seconds, we're going to go in with the primer. Now that his face is all moisturized, now I got my damp Beauty Blender ready to go. So after I prime his face, I'm going to pat that into his face to make sure that it's all pressed in. So the next primer I'm going to use is also by Tatcha, and this is the Silk Canvas Primer, which I also got from the masterclass. So I'm super, super excited to be using it. None other on Tucker. It comes with this little pick right here, and you use the same. It has like a line right here. And you're gonna kind of just scoop it up until it reaches that line. You really don't need much of this either. It's very, very, very thick. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go into his nose and make sure that everything's also blended. You wanna make sure that your canvas is perfectly blended and soft and ready to go for when you put on foundation. When you do foundation, it's almost like you wanna think of it as like a canvas. So you want like just a plain flat canvas, so to do your art on it. And that's how I kind of like to think of it as. Okay, so we went in and we primed his face. Gonna let that sit for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to take that same damp Beauty Blender that I showed you the first time and press all of that product into his skin so that everything is pressed in and ready to go for the foundation. So the next thing we're gonna do obviously is go in right away with the foundation that I showed you the first time. And I'm going to put that on a palette, and I'm gonna use that same damp Beauty Blender to push this into his skin. So this color, I think I used this on Christine. It was really good. I think it stayed in her skin really well. And I think because, like you were telling me, you're dry here, this is more moisturizing and hydrating, so I think this will be really good for your skin. And remember, always try to get into the hairline. We want to make sure that the product looks as natural as possible. We don't want to see any type of lines or white lines that's going to look like, you know, it's fake. Ooh, I see this bee. Look who's joining.
Alexi Delgado.
She's on my bed now. I already know her. She's probably gonna go look through my bag, my gift bag, because I have it sitting on my bed. Cannot wait to do that tutorial for you guys. Me and Alexi are gonna come up with a really cool look and just have a whole photo shoot with all that. So now what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that all this product is pushed into his skin, making sure that it's looking as blended as possible and as airbrushed as possible so that we have one flat canvas to work with. I'm so excited too because, as you can see, I don't have a lot of work to do with these brows. I love when like a face can give me a break and I don't have to do as much. I can just focus on other things. Like I'm gonna focus more on his like contouring and his eyes rather than his brows, because look at these brows.
Large and in charge.
Oh God. So I'm just getting in there. You probably can see my butt now, guys. So now that we have a flat canvas ready to go, we're gonna go now in with a little bit of color correcting underneath his eyes. So he was showing me before, he has a little bit of discoloration by his under eyes, which most of us do because they're usually darker. So
my lack of sleep catches up.
that too. So what I'm going to use now, which I used on Christy as well the other day, which is literally my favorite thing ever, is by Bobbi Brown. This is the corrector in the light peach. And I'm going in with my concealer brush, which is a Pro Concealer brush, and it's the number 71. Like growing up, I'm gonna just kind of throw it all out there. When we're growing up and going through that hormonal stage, I swear to God, there's just some girls who don't wash their face. Like I remember like seeing some girls and like they would put makeup on top of makeup, old makeup, they wouldn't wash their face. I'm like, are you crazy? I like knew this at such a young age. I'm just like, I guess it's also from having so many sisters that I was just like, oh my God, she's putting makeup on top of old makeup. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, like they
You
don't
can't
take
do
off their
that.
makeup and then they
No.
wake up.
No, they don't. It's insane to me. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with a couple different concealers. I like to mix my concealers sometimes. So I'm going to take Born This Way and my NARS concealer and kind of mix those two together for him. So he doesn't need too much like brightness. I don't like when the eye looks so white. We wanna make sure it's bright and not white. Rhinoplasty, who? So I like this color, but I'm actually gonna go in a little lighter with the same NARS concealer and just give him a little bit more lighter right there. And we're actually going to take this one too, I forgot to do, right here on the nose. So I'm just taking that same damp beauty blender and just pressing that into his skin. So now that we've concealed, I'm going to go in now with contour. So this is actually not a contour stick. This is a Velvet Matte Foundation Stick by NARS. I love this product because it's not contour, I feel like it blends even better because it's foundation. It's so much more softer and glides way better on the skin. And again, he's way more tan and this has more red tone to it and it's gonna really pop on his skin. So when I'm doing the contour, you'll see everyone has different face structure. So you can see his bone structure is here. So I'm gonna take it and kind of go from the ear down. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm going to push that into his skin and blend it. See, I'm going into the hairline. I want to make sure everything is blended as much as possible. And there's so much product that I'm actually using this product from my brush and kind of going up. Money talks, bullshit walks. Like, look at that contour already. It's not even like fully blended and it already looks so good. Again, I'm taking that same foundation brush and going in and pushing it into the skin. I'm going to do actually a little bit of contour on his nose with this stick. So I'm just going to take a little bit right here. This stick is very thick. He doesn't need a lot. I'm just going to, it looks crazy. But you'll see what I'm going to do right now. We want his nose to be contour.
Rhinoplasty. Ow! She said, I can't breathe.
Okay, so now that we've contoured his face, I did a little bit of his nose. The next thing we're going to do is bake his face a little bit. So I'm going in obviously with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm going to take that same damp beauty blender and we're going to go underneath and press a light layer first into the skin and then we're going to put a heavier layer to bake. Okay, now I'm going to take a heavier layer and put that underneath his eye. So now that we baked his eyes, we're going to go now into his eye lid. Taking a little bit of my foundation that I used on him and we're just concealing the eye. Okay, so now I prepped his eye and what we're going to do is he wants something, again, simple but smoky for the day. We're going to keep it very bronzy. And I'm going to use none other than the KKW and Mario palette. And we're going to go in with the shade Majami as his first color.
Love that name.
We're going to go in with my Pro Tapered Crease Brush by Sephora. And we're going to go into his eye and kind of use this as a base. Like, I wanted to tell Kim and Mario myself, like, hey, by the way, obsessed with your palette. I think you did such an amazing job with creating such a, like, a useful palette. Like, there's every color in here you can bring use to it. The next thing I'm going to do is going in with this more red tone right here. And I believe this is the shade Albanian? Yeah, Albanian. This is Mario's color. Right there. That's where he's from. And I'm going to take that.
The light just flashed.
What light? That's normal. That's
okay.
Recording. So we're going to take the Albanian shade right here. And I'm going to use that to kind of go a little more into his outer corner of the eye and inner corner of the eye. And just kind of using a really soft hand. I don't want it to be too crazy here.
Use that meeting, right?
Yeah, but that's like later on. Business meetings and shit. I'm actually gonna take that same color and I'm gonna go underneath his eyes with that and kind of smoke out his bottom eye. And I'm using my Pro shader in the number 18 by Sephora. I'm gonna just do one more color and I'm gonna go in with this dark brown shade for his crease. And that one is 2008, this dark brown shade right here. I'm only going to use a little bit just for his crease, just to give it a little more definition right here. So the next shade I'm going to do to kind of like highlight his brow bone a little bit is I'm going to use a little mixture of these two. So those colors are Armenian and Loyalty. These two right here, kind of tap that out. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of my Beauty Blender with some Laura Mercier translucent powder and just kind of like swipe this outside eye, because remember, I don't like it when it's too like perfect. I like when things are really blended out. I'm gonna use my shadow brush by IT Cosmetics. I'm going to take this shade right here, and that is in the color Decade. Just gonna swipe it on the outside to kind of smoke out the ends and make sure it's not so... I'm not going to do his eyebrows. I think he has so much definition and thickness and darkness, he really doesn't need not one more thing in his brow. So what I'm going to do instead is just take a clear eyebrow gel and just brush it up and just kind of brush them out, because I love me like a nice brush out brow.
But look, uneven. My brows are so uneven.
Wait, go down a little bit in the camera. Okay, so I'll help you out a little bit on this brow. So again, his brows are so friggin' thick and dark. He does not need any correcting with coloring or anything. So what I'm going to do instead is take a little bit of my Dip Brow Gel from Anastasia Beverly Hills and just make sure that they're matching. This one is a little further down. So I'm going to take a little bit just on the top area just to even it out. So let me get my brush and Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Gel.
You have like all the good products that like is all the rage.
Not even just like quality over quantity. Like I've tried, excuse my language.
Yeah.
I hate shitty products. Like I hate shitty brushes. I hate, because you know what? It shows when you're doing makeup. You can like, it might not even show right away. It might look good right away. And then it, like when it sets into your skin, it looks so, like it doesn't set into your skin. That's what happens. It doesn't set into your skin. It literally just sits on top of your skin and it looks so fake. I'm gonna actually take a little bit right here out. I can't wait for you guys to see the pictures. I know right now on camera it's like a little harder, and I'm going to fix that very soon, but you guys will see in pictures how amazing his brows look. I got some right here. See, this is a downfall. This is what needs, like I keep forgetting to get my makeup wipes and taking this off because now I just got on his face and I'm really sad. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to swipe his under eye, kind of clean that up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take my brush and go in with my NARS Laguna bronzer to warm up his face a little bit and contour his nose a little bit more, because we like fake nose jobs, you know? So I'm going to take, again, my Laguna bronzer, and I'm going to just contour his nose a little bit. So his nose is a little longer than Christy's, and I can go in a little bit more with him, a little bit more definition, because he wants a big nose job. I'm going to take my MAC brush in the number 188 and use my Laguna bronzer and just kind of warm up his face after contouring. I don't need to do too much because his contour came out really, really nice. I'm just kind of warming it up and making sure we're mattifying it a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with blush. So he is more tan like me, so I'm going to use my favorite blushes on him. And we're going to use two different blushes. So people think I'm crazy for using this, but I love how it looks on my skin. This is literally an orange blush, and this is in the shade Taj Mahal by NARS. I'm going to use this to kind of as my base, and then I'm going to use the blush Orgasm by NARS as well. So I'm going to take that brush, my blush brush, this first one, and kind of just give it a little base. I like to start a little, I like when my stuff matches. So I'm going to do a little bit in his forehead. And I love this blush because both of these blushes, by the way, have shimmer in it. I'm not a huge highlighter girl, and I think I explained that in my last video too, unless the client asked for it. I prefer more of a shimmer blush because I prefer not to highlight so much, like with highlighter. And then I'm going to take my other blush brush. It's by It Cosmetics. And I'm going to go in with the color Orgasm. Kind of just tap that lightly. And kind of smirk for me. So now that we did that, I'm going to go in now with a little bit of mascara to kind of give him some definition in his eyes, because his eyes look great, but his lashes are bare as fuck. So I'm going to use my mascara. This is by Hope Girl. I use this on Christy as well. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go into his eyes, because remember, I'm not going to put a lash on him today because this is a day look. He like is going out after this, so no lashes today. We're going to just use mascara. So I'm just going to go in and just gently tap his lashes to give him a little bit of volume. Like, you're bringing out like your best features. Like, you're just, all you're doing is enhancing everything. You don't ever, and that's the type of makeup I'm not into. I don't like makeup that takes away from your face. I like enhancing your natural features. I'm also going to go in with Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Okay, so doing the same thing in this lash. Same thing in this lash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him do his bottom lashes. So for now, I'm going to do his lips. He's going to do his bottom lashes, and then we're going to show you guys the full look. So I'm actually going to give him a really nice dark lip. We're going to do something a little bit more different. And I'm going to warm up this color right here. This is the color Cork by MAC. And I'm going to warm up this brush on my hand. And I'm going to give him some definition on his lips. So you see, like what I did last time, when you line the bottom part of your lip, it immediately pulls it down. So I'm just going to line his lips a little bit with the brown, and then we're going to go in with like a more pinky nude shade and give it like more of a pop. And he has a really nice cupid's bow, so I'm kind of excited to do that as well. You know what I learned from James Charles? The best way to find out your nude shade, look at your nipple. That's literally, you want to know your nude shade? Get the same shade as your nipple and you're set. So the next shade I'm going to use on his lip is by MAC, and it is the color Japanese Maple. This is more of like a pink shade. So kind of just let your lips sit there, yeah. And we're gonna go in with this shade. Wait till my mom sees you. She's like, oh my god. So what I do to clean up the lips, by the way, is I take my concealer brush with either a little bit of foundation or concealer, and you can kind of just clean up on the sides if it is a little messy. And what I've learned to do and recommend as well is taking some translucent powder and kind of pressing it underneath the lips so that the lipstick does not fall. This is just like a nice peachy shade by Sephora. I'm just going to kind of go in with it a little bit just to give him more glossiness to his lips. This is more pinky, so it kind of goes more with his lip. Christy was more of a nude, so I did more of a nude shade. Bitch. So I'm going to let him do his bottom lash, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the final look. So you can see, come a little closer to the camera, a little more down. As you can see with his face, everything, it looks so nice and soft. He's brown and smoked out, his lips are lined, and he's ready for the day. Look at those brows, they're so thick. I'm gonna definitely help him out with his shape a little more because I think his lady fucked up his shape, but we're gonna get it back. No, it looks so good. So back up for me. So this is the final look. We're gonna take some pics, and I hope you guys enjoy everything that I taught you today. Make sure to like and subscribe. Well, I'm a kissy face, what are you doing? Yes. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.